Mixing elements from Daniel Isn't There, The Entity, The Pact, and especially The Babadook, Brian Christensen, who helmed the baby ghost haunter Still/Born, forges a solid story about twisted psyches, imaginary friends, and paranormal manifestations in Z. Welcome back to ML Miller Frights, a part of the Kings of Horror Network. I'm ML Miller. Before we begin, remember to give this video a like, share with your buddies across the electronic superhighway, click subscribe to this channel, and don't forget to ring that bell for notifications. Please get the word out to new folks so we can make this channel bigger and better. Z is available on demand, digital download, and on Blu-ray this week. And you can also find it streaming on Shudder. Beleaguered housewife Beth, played by Keegan Connor Tracy, is coping with a mother on her deathbed, a husband who is hardly present, played by Sean Rogerson, and an ornery son, Josh, who is having major behavioral troubles at school. When he is suspended indefinitely, Josh creates an imaginary friend named Z, to which he puts all of the blame on for his bad behavior. As Josh's friendship with Z becomes stronger, it begins scaring Beth, so she reaches out to the family psychiatrist Dr. Seeger, played by Stephen McHattie. Seeger has vital information about Josh's new friend that seems to have some kind of connection with Beth's past. Z is a solid shocker with a multitude of legitimate jolts, jumps, and shocks, while the Insidious and Conjuring films seem to have every creepy nighttime paranormal scenario in the book. Z manages to invent a few new frights that really deliver big. Filmmaker Christensen piles on quite a few of these scares one after another as the film delves into some heavy psychological and metaphysical issues that plague Beth and her family. It's a big mess involving past trauma that gives a real-world edge to all of the paranormal stuff going on. Halfway through, Z shifts gears from a typical paranormal phenomenon film to something much more psychologically complex and dark. While normally this would be where the film skids off tracks, Z manages to stay the course. A lot of this has to do with a strong performance by lead actress Keegan Connor Tracy as Beth. There are moments where things get extremely nuts, and because director Christensen and actress Tracy take things seriously, the scenes continue to work masterfully. Keegan Connor Tracy really does go through the emotional ringer here, and it is tough to watch her. Much like the performance of the mother in The Babadook, Tracy is fearless in showing not only a sensitive side, but also an ugly, more emotionally distressed side as well. What frustrated me, though, was McHattie's role as the psychiatrist. He's called Doctor, so I imagine he's a man of science. But McHattie's Dr. Seeger seems to fully believe in the power of the paranormal. He embraces the fact that Z is a very real and dangerous entity. Instead of investigating as to whether Z is a symptom of an early onset of schizophrenia or depression, he leaps to the conclusion that Z is real. I think this plot hole could have been fixed with one simple line. Maybe when Beth takes Josh to Seeger, someone calls him a quack or a witch doctor who has unconventional methods. That's all I would have needed to believe in Dr. Seeger's out-of-the-box thinking. McHattie is always fantastic in any role he takes, but still, the character needed some reason for believing in Z so quickly and so fully. Now, I don't want to get into spoiler territory, but Christensen straddles the fence as to whether Z is a figment of a troubled mind or an actual paranormal entity. Again, I think this could have been fixed with a simple short scene about people creating evil entities by sheer force of will, combined with their own trauma. It is hinted at, and I think that's kind of what Christensen wants to say, but I think Christensen plays it way too subtle, and there needed to be some kind of explanation as to the origins of Z and how it all came to be. It appears that Z might be a product of some kind of past sexual or physical abuse. I say this because the few times we do see Z, it appears to be a lanky, naked old man. but there's no mention of any incident like this in the narrative. So again, I think the horror would have been more powerful with an added scene hinting at something occurring in Beth's past. Be sure to be super creeped out by the look of Z. It is very disturbing. Only seen in well-placed blinks and creepy glimpses, it makes for an original-looking and utterly imposing movie monster. On the surface, Z can be taken as a successful paranormal story. It's not a ghost story, but it's something much more psychologically bent. Had there been a few elements fleshed out, it would have been a perfect scary film. As is, I think Z is still worth a recommendation for its strong performances, foreboding atmosphere, and electrifying fright sequences, but it doesn't go as deep and dark as I think it really could have. That'll be it for today. If you like this video, please pound that thumbs up button. Share the video with your social media addicted pals. If you're looking for written reviews, you can find them on mlmillerwrites.com. Don't forget about the new trade paperback for my horror comic, GRAVETRANCERS. That'll be out this Wednesday in finer comic shops. And be sure to subscribe to this channel and ring that bell for alerts to be the first to see my future videos. Thanks so much for your time, and take care.
You're doomed to live the life you're meant to be, stuck inside your reality. You're doomed. Oh, you're doomed. You're doomed. You're doomed. Live the life that you are meant to be. Live inside.